Good evening, and it is Monday, and we are back to Rise of the False Gods study group. I am so happy that you are joining me tonight. I want to remind you that I welcome questions and comments, and I may not see them tonight. I may not see them till tomorrow, and when I do see them, I will respond. So also, if this is your first time watching our video and you want to see all of them, you can go to YouTube and just to type in Rise of the False Gods, Alicia Leslie, and you will be able to see all the videos. And like this if you like it. Subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any. And we are off on our journey tonight, talking about hijacked holidays. You know, I've been getting myself in a little bit of trouble lately. I think that we have to remember that bad attitudes are contagious. They are. And if someone, these days, everyone is like a raw nerve. And I get rather weary of reading nasty, judgmental emails and posts on Facebook. And everything is abusive and it's very painful. And I had to stop and think for a minute because of my precious daughter-in-law who didn't know me too long when she had to write a paper for her schooling, and she said that her mother-in-law is sharp-tongued and opinionated, but it's kind of true, but it's not like it used to be. I will really now, I try to hold very tightly to speak your truth with love and to try to bite your tongue and not say anything unless you feel it's absolutely necessary. So I'm not telling you that if you have something to say or you want to stand up for yourself that just bite your tongue and don't get into trouble. It's more like remember to speak your truth with love and face facts and understand that not everybody is going to hear what you say. And it's like I have in delicate relationships where we are not of the same political persuasion, as it were. I do not discuss it because I value the relationship before the political passion. And that is, I may not agree with them, but I don't have to try to convince them or argue with them. And if I know someone's not going to do the homework or look it up or just wants to, have a little row about it and blow off some steam, just don't. Just don't. That's the way to stay healthy. I have many friends who are of a different persuasion than myself. You know what? That's even about lifestyle or what we think about spending money or not spending money. Hence, as you know, I'm opening the door now to the fact that I am going to walk into trouble tonight as I talk about hijacked holidays. This is a touchy area where people may not agree with me. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I want to make sure you hear that. You don't have to agree with me. Just consider the possibility. Just try it on. Just roll it around in your head a little bit. And when I switch off the video at the end of our book study tonight, you can switch off anything I say. I'm not perfect, and I sure don't know it all, but I am passionate, and I'm very passionate about the things that are in this book. That's why I gave a couple of years of my life to writing it. Actually, it's about 3 years, I guess. So, Hang on 1 minute. 1 minute. Got a little runny nose. It's not a runny nose. It's a cayenne pepper nose. I discovered I had some varmints in my house the other day. Some little mice. I think back to the day when I had my 2 little mice, Chip and Dale. These ones I don't want in my house. And I have got a real thing about not killing if I don't have to. So I don't know if I mentioned it to you in one of my earlier posts, but I was trying to find ways to, get them out of my house without poison or the murder of a mousetrap. So I looked up and I researched to find things that repel mice. And I will have a very sturdy conversation with them that they're not welcome here. This is my house. They have their house. It's out there. This is my food. Their food's out there. And then if I have to, I'll resort to something else. But right now I'm not going there. Unfortunately, I had to really clean everything today to root out any evidence of any visitors, night visitors. And so I understand they hate cayenne pepper. So after I cleaned and disinfected, I put little cayenne pepper up there. Better they should go home with a burny nose and being ticked off at me and hopefully never come back than having to do the ultimate with mousetrap. Life gives us our challenges. So hence I have cayenne pepper nose. But it is what it is. Alrighty. Well, tonight we are on about a third of the way down the page, on page 93. And so I'm going to read a little bit to get into it. And as usual, I'll probably take a little meander off the path as we go along. The word holiday comes from the words holy day. Holy days are days that are set aside for commemoration and celebration. Along with holy days, the Bible includes festivals. And most festivals were celebrations of joy for God's provision. And everyone spent days feasting and being together and partying and dancing and having a good old hoedown. We have religious and secular holidays, each one with a specific meaning or purpose. Holidays are a time to commemorate people and events. It's a time to ponder God's grace and love and the sacrifices made by others so we can have a better life. When we celebrate holidays in the spirit, as the Spirit intended, it keeps alive the memory of God's power and presence in our lives. You see, holidays are about recalling the past, the things that happened that blessed us and brought us where we are here today. And the purpose of the holidays is to keep the remembrance going, to keep remembering there is a higher authority. There is someone who is a provider and a protector and a lover and a nurturer that is beyond our little human faults and failings. Now, the false gods, which, as we've said many times before, which are not actual entities, they are thoughts, they are bodies of thoughts. Charles Fillmore called these things thought people. And so they're a kind of a conglomeration of what we want. And so these false gods, these false thoughts about what a holiday has come to, pull us down, The goal of a holiday is to lift us up to the spiritual, the higher level, not to drag us down to the lower level. Our celebrations tell stories of events that underscore God's presence in our everyday lives. And if you know your holidays, know the Bible, the easy one, Christmas, it's coming and everybody's getting in the mood. What are they really getting in the mood for? I don't think I'm going to make it through the holidays all the way tonight, so maybe tomorrow I will expand a little bit on Christmas if I don't get it all out tonight. But the Christmas story, oh, here I go, venturing off the path. The Christmas story is the story of times that were hard. The people were being oppressed. They were not allowed to worship. They were not allowed to be their true selves. They were overtaxed and burdened, and it was just awful. And the people had roamed away from the essence of the meaning of spirituality, spiritual laws. So in the midst of this suffering, the baby Jesus came, okay? Jesus is our master teacher. And if you follow the teaching of Jesus, you will see it works. But I want you to know that Jesus did not say to worship him, to put it all on him. He said, in fact, why do you call me good? There's only one good, and that is God. Wow. If the goodest person on the planet ever could say that, what do we have to think about it? But he said that the kingdom is within us. He said that we are children of God, that he is not an exception, but an expression. The expression that we can all be, that will change our lives and the world we live in. Folks, don't give up now. We need it more. Oh, you know that song? Oh, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. And I don't think I even was close to the tune. That's all right. But we do. But we don't need a little Christmas about shopping and buying presents and getting presents. We need a little Christmas about the knowing that there is something greater. To take this time to focus on good. Call it what you want. Good teacher. Some people like to go, oh, well, Christmas is only December 25th because that's the day that was the Emperor Constantine's birthday, and so they wanted to, all have if he would have all the Romans convert to Christianity, then they blessed his birthday, and they made it Jesus' birthday. Oh, where does this stuff come from? La la yourself, Cheryl. Okay, so you see, first of all, we went from Christmas being a celebration without presents, by the way, just saying. And then we come down the road a while, and as a matter of fact, Christmas was condemned for a while in England because they didn't want the people getting out there and making all merry, because they made a very un-Christian-like merriment, I'll tell you. That's what the history books say anyway. So, first of all, we start to slip away from the sacred nature of Christmas. And then we get Santa Claus. How could anybody pick on Santa Claus? I'm not picking on Santa Claus. I am standing up for Santa Claus. Because Santa Claus was a real person. He was a bishop. And he was a kind person. And he wanted to help the less fortunate. And the legend has it that he saw some children, there were girls that were very poor. And back in those days, if you didn't have a dowry that your father could give to someone, you might not even get married. And that Saint Nicholas came around and he put coins and good stuff in their stockings. And so what happened was an act of charity has become an act of excess. It focuses, excuse me, on a material expression of love and not a spiritual expression of love. Okay? So and then it gets worse. I'm sorry, frog. So what happens next is that we get commercialism really takes a bite into our holidays. And we pause now for a commercial. If you go to YouTube and go to Spirit of Unity Church, Reverend Alicia Leslie, I have posted there, I did it a few years ago, but truth doesn't change. Circumstances change, facts change. The original fact doesn't change, but its current expression does. But you will find a series called Unplug the Christmas Machine. It is a fabulous series on a book done that was so wonderful that helped to steer people into a more meaningful Christmas. Very exciting. You don't have to do it without presents, you know. Do your presents, but the way I see it is this. If Jesus got 3 presents from the 3 kings, 3 presents should be good for anybody else. You know, at my house, when I was a kid, my mom loved Christmas and she loved buying those presents. Mind you, we did go to church on Christmas, just saying. But she just had such a glut of presents under the tree. It'd take us all day to open them. And by the time we were done, we were cranky and crabby. And next day, we went to our grandparents and did it all again. That's not what it's about. Okay. So when commercialism came in, then they kept telling us we needed to buy more and more. Do you remember that song, you may or may not, Jolly Old St. Nicholas? And it says, you know, Johnny wants a pair of skates, Susie wants a doll, something like that. We wanted a thing. We wanted a thing. And then Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, became Santa Claus and became a provider of tons of presents. Everybody got tons of presents, or it wasn't Christmas. Well, to me, that is the slander of Santa Claus. I know that Samuel Clemens had his heart in the right place when he wrote of the Night Before Christmas, but that's not what it has become. Then, I'm not going to get out of Christmas tonight, leave alone the rest of the holidays. Then we got Black Friday. Black Friday. Now we have to shop before Christmas. Before Christmas. Before Thanksgiving. It was the day after Thanksgiving, but it wasn't quite. I'll tell you, back in the day, in the olden days, as us old folks say, back in the day, we would anticipate the day after Thanksgiving. Not because of any sales. As a matter of fact, those prices were full price. And we would go because that was the day they turned on the Christmas lights. It was free. Turned on the Christmas lights. They put up all kinds of little window displays. It was wonderful. And I took the bus to Hartford with a friend, and we'd walk up and down the streets and look at the things in the stores. It was like back in the day when they used to announce the new cars. You would not see those new cars until they were unveiled. And one year I remember well was on October 6th. And my ex-husband happened to work at a car dealership. And they had the big unveiling of the cars. Well, I remember it was October 6th because that's my twins' birthday. And I had made them a lovely birthday party. And I made fried pizza. You know, you stretch out the dough, fry it, put sauce and toppings on it. And I had bought 5 pounds of bread dough. But let me tell you something. Those 6 kids and their parent, man, they just wolfed that stuff down. So I didn't get any. Nothing. Went to the grand opening of the unveiling of the cars without anything on my stomach. So I'm going to make a long story real short and not go into detail. It was a champagne reception. I hadn't eaten. Do the math. But back in those days, the unveiling of the cars was amazing. The Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving, when everything would be unveiled for the first time. And you know what? We have forgotten anticipation is an amazing gift. It is priceless. But today I want it now. Products are shoved at us so fast, and then we've got planned obsolescence. Those are the false gods taking over. Money and ego. It's really sad. It's not all money, it's materialism and ego. Gotta have the latest, greatest. You know, can hardly afford the groceries, but there's always a line out there when a new Apple phone comes out. Or when people kill each other for, what were those, Air Jordans? I don't know if they even still make them. God, it's tough getting old, you know. Things go by so fast. Just when you get to learn how to use something, it's gone. Planned obsolescence, too. All righty. For every holiday, there's a holiday sale. Thanksgiving Day, the day that we have set aside to thank God for our abundance, thousands are driven by an insatiable craving or fear of missing out, pour into stores which I call the Temple of Mammon. There is a difference between want, need, and greed. Okay? A lot of people, we need things and we want things. But when we cross the line to greed, and now, well, haven't you been watching TV? They've got Black Friday now. 2 weeks ago already. What's up with that? Now every Friday's Black Friday. Well, maybe the merchants are hurting enough that they feel the need to try to, get in the black before the end of the year. And I'm sad about that. I'm sad that that has to be necessary. But we've got a lot of changing to do. These false gods are driving us to a very unhappy place. That's why I wrote the book. We got to put our feet down. It's not all about buying stuff. We have got things we can buy, and we've got services we can provide. A lot of people at this time that are fearful about losing their jobs and losing their businesses, which is sad, especially restaurants. I can't go out to the restaurants I love. I can't enjoy them. But I don't want to go out and die either, And I want them to make it through. Now, some are coming up with very ingenious ways. Please, in these difficult times, especially as we're looking at the holidays, do not underestimate yourself. I saw a little piece on YouTube the other day where a man was surprising his wife. He had her standing holding up signs with a blindfold on, and she would just drop one sign after another when he told her to. And it talked about how he had lost his job, and they had really wanted to get a house they were expecting and wanted to have a house for their family, a special home. And then he lost his job, and then she was trying to take care of both of them, and her job, didn't pay that much. And so it was really a tough time. But you know what he did? He started a business. Now, they didn't say what it was, but the thing is, his business did well. And he was able to eventually buy that house. And you know what? It was her childhood house, her childhood home. Talk about a beautiful story. Don't underestimate yourself. We are geniuses. We are children of God, for heaven's sakes. So look, dig deep, and look for the ways around this. And to those which I've said over and over again, it's the holidays. It's going to be the holidays. Don't have an attitude if you think you can't have 1,000,000 presents under the tree. Sometimes the fewer the presents, the more precious they are. And a price tag does not determine the value of a present. Man, so I got so carried away I lost my place. So the holidays, and I didn't mean to go so deeply into that explanation of Christmas. I was saving that, and my time is running out. Let's see if I can at least get to the next page. So, our celebrations tell stories, but when the story comes to be about ourselves, we have come off the path. And it's like this. We lose. We lose. You know what one of my favorite things about Christmas was? And now I'm retired from pulpit ministry, so I don't do it anymore. The midnight service, the candlelight service. And when I had my churches, I would do a living nativity. It was beautiful. And family's important. And our spiritual nature and the precious stories of our holidays are important. Don't be fearful going into this Christmas or Thanksgiving. Let's please, let's not override Thanksgiving. Let's not go into the holidays fearing that they're just not going to be the same because I can't be with my family and I can't do. Get over yourself. Excuse me. Bring out your creativity. Bring out your genius. I just sent an invitation to my children and their children to have a Zoom Thanksgiving, that we would get together on Zoom. We haven't even been together all of us in decades, but because they're all over the planet, So I am praying they'll be able to do it. They might not. They might have made other plans. But I sure would love to see all my kids gathered around the technology to see each other's faces and to talk to each other all at the same time. That's a beautiful part. And you don't need gifts for that. You just need to be together and share memories and stories. And so please, we're going to get into the rest of the Hijacked holidays tomorrow. But just please hear what I'm saying today. The holidays will be what we make them. Do not let the false gods of Mammon and Baal take your joy. The joy is up here. It's on the spiritual level. This is pleasure. This is joy, okay? And now what are the commercials? The commercials are giving people cars for Christmas. Give me a break. We've come a long way from Johnny wants a pair of skates and Susie wants a doll. You don't need to give a flippin' car for Christmas, for goodness sakes. Think about Jesus. Think about the gift that he gave. Think about the preciousness of a teaching that can change our lives. Think about a child born in poverty that became a true king. We can all have wonderful holidays if we are willing to face down Mammon and Baal. Just going to try to get to the next page. Okay. All right. So yeah, everyone went to the stores and pushed each other down, and some people got killed so they could push their ways into the store on Black Friday, which became Thanksgiving afternoon. And I know there's people that love that, and that's become a part of their tradition. I'm sorry. Our families go too soon past us. how many? We have 260,000 people dead since March from COVID. Enjoy your family while you can. Hug them when you can, not now. Not now. I'm planning next year's holidays because I'm affirming we are going to beat this bug and we are going to be able to hold on to the ones we love again. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the page and remember all these bargains. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to go over a minute. These Thanksgiving, Black Friday bargains where everybody's got to get into the store. This is the tricky part you don't realize. That if you start even on Black Friday shopping, by human nature, Mammon and Baal, you are not going to stop shopping until probably noon on Christmas Eve. It's the way it works. And then what happens? Christmas Day, and then Christmas night, and the next day, they got the after Christmas sales. Please, don't you have enough stuff? Better to have more expensive stuff, handmade stuff that has the energy of it, and less stuff. Let's get rid of all those storage sheds that have people's stuff that they don't even remember. All right, enough about that. So I got more about Hijacked holidays coming tomorrow. Sorry I didn't get too far, but I hope you enjoyed some time, maybe getting into the thoughts of a different kind of Christmas spirit. So God bless you for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Looking forward to it so much. Bye-bye.